Call Me By Your Name director Luca Guadagnino has discussed making multiple sequels to the award-winning film. Guadagnino's acclaimed movie received 3 Golden Globes nominations including Best Picture, Drama, and should receive multiple Oscar nominations when they are announced on January 23. AFI named the movie one of its films of the year. Set in Italy in the early 1980s, Call Me By Your Name follows young Elio, Timothée Chalamet, as he forms a relationship with his father's older student Oliver, Armie Hammer, unfolding over the course of a summer. The movie shows Elio and Oliver tentatively coming together, forming a bond of trust that helps Elio on his path to sexual awakening. Chalamet gives a sensitive, intelligent performance as Elio, and Hammer too is memorable as Elio's cautious mentor/lover. Michael Stuhlbarg plays Elio's professor Father Perlman, and delivers one of the great monologues of recent film history. Speaking to The Guardian, Luca Guadagnino recently discussed the possibility of one day revisiting the characters at the center of Call Me By Your Name. Guadagnino mentioned wanting to not just make one sequel, but several. Guadagnino said, "These characters are so fantastic, and I want to know what happens to them. The last 40 pages of the book tell you about 20 years in the life of Oliver and Elio. So I started to think about Michael Apted's and the cycle of films. François Truffaut devoted to the character of Antoine Doyle, and I thought, maybe it's not a question of sequel, it's a question of chronicling everyone in this film. I think seeing these characters growing in the bodies of these actors will be quite fantastic." Sequels are of course nothing new in the world of mainstream popcorn movies. However, it's rare to see an Oscar-worthy film like Call Me By Your Name getting a sequel. It's even rarer for such films to receive sequels years later, giving audiences a chance to catch up with significantly aged versions of the characters. Peter Bogdanovich tried such a delayed sequel with 1990's Texasville, a follow-up to his classic The Last Picture Show. Also in 1990, Jack Nicholson directed The Two Jakes, a follow-up to Chinatown in which he reprised the role of J.J. Getz. Nicholson also appeared in The Evening Star, a 1996 sequel to 1983's Oscar winner Terms of Endearment. The follow-ups mentioned above had one thing in common: all were met with a largely lukewarm receptions from critics and audiences. As those movies demonstrated, coming back to characters years after the fact and trying to recreate the magic of the first film is very difficult. If Guadagnino were to pull it off with a whole series of Elio and Oliver sequels, it would be a remarkable achievement. Before he can embark on any Call Me By Your Name sequels, Guadagnino has other interesting projects lined up. Next, the director will tackle a remake of Dario Argento's Suspiria that he describes as completely different than the original. Guadagnino also plans to make Let It Fall Back, a drama possibly starring Michelle Williams, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Benedict Cumberbatch. Guadagnino also has Jennifer Lawrence lined up to star in the true crime film Burial Rights. Source: The